Good morning, Pella Nation. We are back. It is March Madness, the second week. It's crazy. Carl, what do you think?
Can't wait for week 3. It was great last week, and I can't wait to dig into to the review and cast out what we think is going to happen next week.
All right, well, let's get to it. We got 6 games to talk about from last week. There was some blowouts. There was some really close action. We got best brackets rolling. There's a couple people that are pulling away in the competition for those Amazon gift cards. And then we got 4 games coming up. It's win or go home because it's the losers bracket. There are 4 games we're going to talk about and we're going to preview. So let's dive right in. Carl, take it away. Let's talk about that Chris Kyle matchup.
Well, yeah. So I called it last week. Chris was going to run away with this. He was biting to get in, and he finally got off that bye week, and he absolutely just dominated that bracket, which I knew was going to happen. I called it. Kyle was coming off a huge win, but Chris just had too much to handle. And like I said, I think Chris is going to go a long way here. I don't think Kyle's quite done yet. I think he's turning some stuff around, but it was just he ran into a bad opponent in round 2. And we'll see what he does in the losers bracket.
Yeah, I guess I picked that one wrong, but what are you gonna do? I don't have much to say.
He was gonna ride the train there.
Chris, I tried riding the Kyle train, but he's not done yet. He's going on to the losers bracket, and our champ last year came out of the losers bracket, so it is by no means over. He can certainly turn things around, but Chris had a hell of a week, $104,000 in sales, 60% first call close. In fact, I think he had the best week. He was unbeatable. He would have beaten everybody, all comers. So what can you say? So we'll move on to the Dave George matchup. So apparently the America does not run on Dave Duncan. Apparently it runs on Whoppers, because I talked to George yesterday and he was getting his celebration meal at Burger King drive-thru. I tried to yell to the drive-thru person, say, cancel the order. He needs to go to Kava. He doesn't even know what Kava is. I had to tell him that's health food, fast food. But George, he got it done. And it was a close matchup. It was 2-2. It went to the volume tiebreaker. So George had a 50% first call close. Dave had the big sales. He had the job size and yield. But George got 3 self-gens, including one of them being a new prospect. So that tied it all up. And it just came down to volume. And George was the one who got more sales with 51,000 versus Dave's 44. George moves on, and Dave goes to the losers bracket.
Wow, I did not see this one coming. I thought I had Dave going almost all the way. And, what's really frustrating is just a Google review would have won it for him. That nemesis of Google reviews got him in round 2. He's heading to the losers bracket. Had that one wrong. It was a tight one. I give George all the credit. Great job to George. But let's move on to what I thought was going to be the toughest match to pick last week. And that was Shane versus Henry. Defending champ versus Henry, who has just been red hot. And, I went against the grain on this one. I picked Henry, and I was right. Henry ran away with this one. He had a fantastic week. Just like I said, he has just been so consistent, so red hot. I thought it was just going to be a little too much for Shane to handle this week, and we had Henry pulling through.
Yeah, I mean Henry got it done. I looked at that, and it was hard to believe that he would not have beaten Chris with those numbers. He did have the most sales, 120,000 in sales. In fact, I jumped in the action and helped him close one for him, and so that was poking some fun at Shane for that. Although I did pick Shane. But yeah, Shane certainly didn't get it done. It was not the March Madness Gator-like performance, but he does better in the losers bracket, so he's right at home. He went to the losers bracket last year in the first round and then fought all the way through. So he's not done yet, but Henry is moving on in solid fashion. He won 4-0 in a blowout.
Yeah, Shane is definitely not done. He's going to make some noise down there in the losers bracket. Then we had the matchup, the Duncan matchup. Leslie versus her uncle. And I told you the family barbecue is going to be weird, and I was right.
I think Tim went to the wrong barbecue.
Yeah, well, he's going to continue to go to the wrong barbecue.
Where he went.
He's going to continue to go to the wrong barbecue because Leslie put a whooping on him, just beat down. And so, listen, Tim's turning things around. He's having a great year, but Leslie is just too much to handle. The Pella Bella, and she won pretty handedly. And so Tim goes down to the losers bracket. That's 2 Duncans in the losers bracket. Going to be interesting to see if one of them can make it back out and into the winners bracket.
Yeah, I guess the losers bracket is going to be filling their faces with fat-filled donuts this week because the Duncan boys are down there. Yeah, I can't say much about Tim. When you don't sell anything for the week, you don't win. So good job to Leslie. She won 4-0 in a blowout with 70,000. So moving on, this is the matchup of the week. I want to get these graphics up here. Let's take a look at the box scores. And I'm going to walk you through how this game played out. See if our producer back in studio can find the right graphic. So this one, this was one of the closest, if not the closest matchup in March Madness history that I've ever seen. So Joshua starts it off, comes out in day 1 with a follow-up sale. That's not going to help first call close, but it does help job size. So then Bonnie responds with the first call close on Tuesday. It's a small one, but she's on the board taking that category. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the rookie Bonnie lands 3 follow-up sales for 24,000. Looks like she's running away with it. She gets a Google review. She's leading in almost every category. And then Joshua finally got things together on Friday. He got a couple of sales. He had a $14,000 follow-up and then got his first call close, but it wasn't enough. Going into Friday, he was actually down because Bonnie had the Google reviews. Joshua had 1. It was going to be a tie. That would have gone either way. And then at the last moment on Saturday, Joshua lands a Google review. The Moffitt family storms the court. He's moving on. Bonnie goes home devastated. It was very close because if you look at the volume, that's what it came down to, the tiebreaker. Joshua wins by $1,500. He escapes. It's like UVA last year or 2 years ago when they barely beat the 16 seed. But hey, it happened. And Joshua is moving on.
I told you to watch out for the upset. Everybody thought I was crazy going with Bonnie, and I had it. I said, you know what? Josh is still licking his wounds. But I'll tell you what, I give him a ton of credit. He's got the will to win, and was determined not to be bounced out by the rookie Bonnie. But I give Bonnie a ton of credit. I knew she was going to have a great week. I knew it was just a matter of time. And it's sad to see she gets bounced out because she really put up a tough performance there, and super proud of that.
Yeah, I wanted to see the Cinderella story, but I checked the scores 3 times, and it went to Joshua. So then in the last game, it
was a snooze
fest.
I
think that put the fans to sleep. It was like watching curling in the Olympics. Jay had a sale for $5,000 on Tuesday, and that was it. They had, it was that was the only sale. No self-chins, no Google reviews. Jay skates by with a 3-0 victory over Jeff, so he will move on in the losers bracket to face the defending champ.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if we had pulled the highlight up, it would probably be 1 second of just one sale. So it was just the one sale that got him through. I had Jeff going. Jeff just couldn't pull together a sale. I think he was a little too late. I think he had one last night, and he's starting to turn things around. But he gets bounced out of the tournament, and Jay moves on. So we'll see how Jay continues down the loser bracket there.
Yes. So, and speaking of brackets, we have an update for best bracket. So Julie, she won a couple of years ago in best bracket, so she knows the sales team. She gets crunches those numbers. That's that accounting background going to work for her. So she's got 11 picks correct. She's leading the way. And then Jay, Leslie, Drew also they have 10 correct. So they're just 1 pick behind Julie in that race for those 4 Amazon gift cards. And then Teresa and Jim also have 9 correct. So those are the leaders in best bracket as we move on into week 3, which, let's go ahead and move on into week 3 and talk about these matchups in the losers bracket. It is win or go home. Carl, tell us about this Dave versus Joshua.
Well, so listen, I called the upset against Josh last week, and I'll tell you what, he showed me some show me what he's worth right there by pulling that win out of Bonnie. It shows me that he wants to win. And that's a little different from what I saw from Dave last week. Dave had the chance to win in the winner's bracket. All he needed was a Google review and didn't get it done. So America's not running through Dave Duncan anymore. I think Josh is going to bounce him out this week. I think Josh has got something to prove. He wants to win. He's got the fight. And I think that's going to be the difference because I think Dave was caught sleeping at the wheel last week. So I've got Josh moving on in the losers bracket here this week.
All right. Well, we'll see. So George told me last week, he's like, I'm glad I caught Dave early in the week because, he's the follow-up king. He brings it at the end of the month. I told George, watch out because he's got a deadline out there. Dave Duncan always has a mid-month deadline in March, and I guarantee you it is this week. I'm calling March 19th. That's his deadline. Watch for the sales. They're going to come in fast and furious this week. Joshua's going down. Dave's moving on because he's got a deadline. The deadline is coming, and that's all that Dave needs. He will slaughter Joshua with massive sales this week.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it now. Dave will lose to a Google review this week. I'm calling it.
Well, Joshua already has a Google review. So Dave, get on the horse. Get your Google reviews. The sales are coming, and he will be first call selling because there's the deadline. All right, moving on to the next contest. That's going to be Brett versus Kyle. I've been riding the Kyle train, and I'm getting off. I'm going with Brett. He's back from his bye. He's a big gamer in March Madness. He was saving up. He pulled an order number on Saturday and decided to wait to contract it till Monday so that he could have it count. Whatever the reason was, he timed that one well. So he's coming in strong, and he was a finalist last year. It slipped through his fingers as he went through the winner's bracket, lost to Shane twice in that final matchup, but he knows how to play in March Madness. And I think Kyle's going to do well, but I think Brett's going to do better this week. So I've got Brett moving on.
Well, Brett's going to need all the help he can get. You say he's a gamer when it comes to March Madness. He's been closing 12% since March. That's not a gamer. Listen, Kyle has been turning this thing around. This is his best month he's had all year. He ran into the toughest match you can possibly have, and he lost. So I do think he's going to have a big week this week and turn it around. And I think we're gonna see Brett out of the tournament because Kyle's going to get after it this week and close him out.
Okay.
So that takes me to Chase versus Tim. Now, this is tough. All right, because my pick is going to be Chase Thomas. Chase is going to be on the case. You know what that means? There's going to be one Duncan left after this week if my picks come in. I think Tim is going to be he hasn't gotten it done. He's closing 18% in March. Chase has the fourth highest close percentage. He's in the top third of the office. He's super consistent, and he's going to win the Google reviews. There's nobody except for maybe Shane that can handle him in the Google review category. And he's got his dad in his corner. And I tell you, I think that's going to be what it's going to take to beat Tim. And that's it. America's going to run on Leslie Duncan. Leslie Duncan. The torch has been passed.
Not a chance. Fast draw Spanky is back, and he's taking down Chase Thomas this week. That's all I got to say. Spanky's back. He's getting it done. He didn't sell anything last week. There is no chance a rookie is going to beat a Duncan.
Well,
style.
He's going to get that gun stuck in the holster. And I'll tell you, he's going to shoot himself in the leg maybe. He told me that happened before. So I'm just saying.
Shoot himself. He is not shooting himself. He's going to take down that little cartoon puppy dog.
Chase is on the case.
No, Tim's going to be fine. Tim's coming back with a vengeance. He's already got a self-chin on the board. Just wait. So then moving on to the last one. So Carl, you told me that I ruined Jay 2 weeks ago when I rode with him, and that's why. So I'm in on this one. It's redemption time. I'm leaving today. I'm going to the beach. I'm riding with Jay. We're going to sell the heck out of some stuff this week, and he is going to take down, and I'm going to have a hand in taking down the Gator. No Gator. No Gator. The Gator is going bye-bye.
No. You're talking about the defending champ. Listen, he's already got stuff in the pipeline. He saw that he was going to lose last week. He's filling up the pipeline for this week, and it's just going to be way too much. He's going to overwhelm Jay. The Gators got him in close yield, and I don't think he's going to catch him in the Google reviews. So I don't think it's possible. Gator's going to go really far in the losers bracket. In fact, I think I've got him coming out of the losers bracket back into the winners bracket to make some noise. I would be very surprised to see this upset here, and so that's why I'm going with Shane Call.
Maybe I'll just give Gator all the invalids this week.
Oh, don't! I'm going to watch that tight so there's no shenanigans. Shane's going all the way.
No, it'll be an interesting one. So we've got the losers bracket. That's what's happening in those 4 matchups, and then the winners from last week, they're going to have a bye week as they wait. So we will see Chris versus George and Henry versus Leslie in round 4 next week, along with the next round of the losers bracket. But that's where we're at. So stay tuned, cheer your teams on. That's March Madness. Week 3 is underway. Thanks, everyone.